Hello, everybody. I'm so glad you're here. I'm sorry that I'm starting a couple minutes late. It has been a crazy morning here in my home. For those of you that know, I've been doing a kitchen renovation. We were out of our house for 3 months and we just got back in here 2 days ago, and there's still a ton of construction going on. So I have moved out of my office. I'm in a place where hopefully you can hear me, where it's not too loud. And I'm excited to get things going. So I'm so glad you're here for these 3 sessions over these next few days for Revolutionize Your Client Results. Today's the first day of 3 sessions that will really help you go deep to assess where your transformation skills and techniques are completely top-notch and working really, really well, and also to assess where your potential growth spots are. And the truth is that we all have places in our coaching and transformation techniques where we're deeply masterful. And we also all have places where we can explore our edge more, where there's room for improvement, where we can become even more effective and masterful. The assessments and troubleshooting exercises that I'm going to be sharing with you over the next 3 sessions are the exact ones that I come back to for myself and my own skills every single year in order to assess where I need to go deeper and become more skillful as a practitioner. The exercises that we're going to be looking at these 3 days keep me on my toes when I come back to them. And they also keep me continuing to explore my edges so that I can continue to be a practitioner who's one of the best in the industry, with my transformation skills in tip-top shape. And the thing is that my transformation skills are the #1 reason, the top reason, for my business being so full and thriving. And here's why. Because in my opinion, it's no longer an option to not be masterful at transformation. It's just not an option anymore. We need our transformation skills in stellar shape in order to support our clients so that they can create change in their lives, so that they can connect with their souls and their psyches to know all the parts of themselves, so that we can skillfully hold space for our clients to move beyond outdated patterning and recordings and beliefs, so that we can help our clients navigate through their fears so that they don't get stuck or frozen in those fears or take manic action because of those fears. All of this has always been so important, but it's even more important now that the world is changing. 2020 has changed all of this. The old normal and the old structures are slipping away, and the new ones desperately want to emerge. This is the moment more than ever to be able to go deep and to understand which of our skills we need in order to really support our clients. And I'll just share briefly, as I said earlier, this is my #1 tool for success. Of course, I market, right? Of course I have to market. Marketing is not always a cakewalk for me, but I have to market way, way less than so many other people because of my transformation skills, because of the ways that I support my clients. Because of the ways that I support my clients, I get a ton of renewals. I get a ton of referrals. My business is fueled mostly on renewals and referrals. And then my reputation, it precedes me because of the results that my clients get. And of course, the same is true for so many of my clients and students. The transformation skills that I teach them give them high client re-sign rates, high referral rates, much easier pathways to earning more, and probably most important of all, more confidence, right? In knowing that they're incredible at what they do and that they can handle any client situation that comes their way, that they can handle it effectively without their own buttons being pushed, right? And their own triggers being triggered. So all of this is to say, whether you're just starting out to work with clients or you've been doing transformational work for decades like I have, it is so valuable to pause for a moment and assess and troubleshoot and troubleshoot where your edges are so that you can go deeper, and then honor all of the ways that you're doing really well. All of this ultimately leads to more ease and more success and more renewals and more referrals. Yeah, and some of you are saying you found me through referrals, Elijah and Marnie. It's true, right? When you do amazing work, it's easier to market. You don't have to market as much. And I feel so honored. My gosh, I'm so glad that you guys came in, that there are people that told you about me, because I love you guys. You're amazing. All right, so by the end of our 3 mini sessions over the next couple of days, my hope is that you're gonna have an excellent survey of your coaching and your transformational abilities inside and out, and that you'll be even more aware of your strengths and how to leverage them. You'll also understand exactly what needs to be worked on in order to perform even better with your clients and to take your transformational skills to the next level. Not to mention, and you can tell me if you agree with this, I think that it makes everything more fun when we know where our edges are and we stretch into them, right? It can get boring to just rely on the same old things that we know we do well, right? I see so many people here I love. Yay. Okay, so in a minute, we're going to jump into the actual assessment and troubleshooting exercises. But before we do, I want to say this to all of you. This is so important. If you're here and you're here to do the assessments, not only am I so glad that you're here, but I really want to honor you, because doing exercises, assessments, troubleshooting, really looking in the ways that we're going to be looking over these days, it's not for the faint of heart, right? And what it really says about you is that you are committed not just to mastery, not just to excellence, but to really doing what needs to be done in order to support your clients fully and in order to make good on your marketing promises. So I just really want to honor you. I want to honor your commitment to your work and to your clients and to your future clients. And I'm so honored to be able to share this journey with you. So we're going to be doing 2 assessments today. The first is a client results assessment. The second is a worst case client study assessment. We're going to start with the easier stuff first, client results assessment. And I'm going to walk you through each thing step by step. So there are too many practitioners that are worried that they're not co-creating exceptional results with their clients. But in order to create those exceptional results, you do first have to be honest with yourself and get really clear on what are the results that you're already creating, how are things going, what's working, what's not working. So as I ask you these questions, this is what's important. Don't judge yourself, okay? Like I said, I have places of strength and then I have places of edge, right? So whatever you see coming up, I want to encourage you to be honest with yourself, because then you'll have choice and agency to do things differently. You're going to see things and make connections that you didn't see before. Be honest, but don't judge. We're all in this together, and none of us are perfect, particularly myself. And please be willing to share. I know it can be a little vulnerable, to share the places where maybe things aren't going so well, but the more that you can share, the more we can go deeper with it. So I'm going to be asking you to put comments all the way in. I see you guys are already commenting. You're all ready to go. Okay, so first question, I want you to think about your last 3 clients. And the best way to do this is you can make a chart with your piece of paper. So I would almost put like across this chart, make 3 columns, and at the top of each column, have the name of a different client, one of your last 3 clients. And then we're gonna answer the following questions for these 3 clients. I'm gonna ask you a series of questions about them. So the first is, what are the positive results and transformations that you've co-created with this client? What are some of the positive, sorry, my daughter is, I'll be there in a second, my love. Okay. What are the positive results and transformations that you've co-created with this client? So I want you to really take a moment to celebrate yourself and your work here, okay? Really take a look and write down the places where you've rocked it with each of these clients. And I do also want to share, and this is a coaching and transformational skill. Sometimes it can be hard to celebrate ourselves and to really say, wow, I did this really well, right? And so I want to really encourage you, if you've got any of that, like, oh, it's not really me, it's the client. Of course it's the client, doing amazing things, but you're holding the space for them. But if you've got any of the, like, I can't celebrate, it's weird to celebrate myself, or, any of that, see if you can put that aside for this question and really go for it. What are the things that are amazing? What have you co-created with this client that's just so positive and so incredible? I'll give you guys a moment. And please share. Post in the comments too. What is it that you want to own? What's going really well with your clients? What are some of the great results? I'll give you guys another minute with this one. And I'd love for some shares on this. Post in the comments below. Don't be shy. What is it that you're really celebrating? What's gone really well? All right, next question. For each of those 3 clients that you named, what are the places where you haven't quite achieved what you set out to do with this client? What are some of the places where you haven't quite achieved what you set out to do with this client? And just, again, no judgment at all. Just be honest, right? It's important to just see this, straight up. And I love I'm seeing some of the celebrations right now. Such good stuff. I'm going to read through those as you answer this next question. What are the places where you haven't quite achieved what you set out to do with each of these clients? Even if it's the work has gone really, really well, like so much to celebrate, find the places. I'm going to go a little bit quickly on some of these questions. You can always come back to look at them more deeply. I'll give you another minute on this one. But you can always come back to them. All right, and here's another question to think about along with the last one. What are some of the obstacles and difficulties that you've encountered with each of these clients? So what are some of the obstacles and difficulties? So I'm going to give you some examples to get you thinking. So what are some of the obstacles and difficulties? Places where the client has gotten stuck, right? So where they haven't taken forward movement on the goals that they're setting. Where are the places where maybe this client they've made progress, but not as much as either of you had hoped. If this client has self-sabotaged. If this client, isn't taking any actions, they're not taking actions on the homework. Maybe a place of obstacle has been that they worked towards a goal that the two of you strategized together, that you visioned together. They worked hard, they achieved the goal, only to realize that it's not what they wanted, or that it left them feeling empty. Or maybe this particular client is stuck in a lot of the same habits and patterns, or they're really hard on themselves and you haven't been able to support them to not be so hard on themselves or not be so judgmental, right? Or maybe with these particular clients, they don't really seem to be stretching themselves, So those are just some examples of obstacles, places where they've gotten stuck. So take a moment and look at that. For those of you that know me, I'm not great with technology. Reading some of these comments, and some I'm going to have to read later. Yeah, and Stephanie's saying, and I'm so glad you're sharing this, and I can't read your whole comment right now, Stephanie. Oh, here we go. I figured it out. That because you work with neurodiverse clients, many of whom have executive function issues, progress can be really slow. I would say for that kind of client, that's not a place where you're getting stuck, right? Because that's their rhythm, that's their pathway. Where you might be getting stuck with those clients is if they're beating themselves up for their rhythm, right? Or for what they're not doing, or whatever it is. Sandra is also another great example of where people get stuck. No concept of time, late for every call, in victim mode for several weeks. A lot of what you're describing there, Sandra, it falls into the different resistance archetypes. We're going to be looking at those even more closely tomorrow, but it sounds like you've got some resistance archetypes going on with some of your clients, and there are ways around that for sure. You just need some of those tools. Amelia's saying that one of her biggest obstacles is she gets annoyed sometimes when certain clients get stuck or don't take action. I'm so glad you're bringing this up, Amelia, because this is, and hi, by the way, hi to everybody. This is a biggie, our energetics, how we show up for our clients. Those of you that have learned with me, I say all the time, energy follows energy, right? And so it's so important for us to manage our own energetics when we're with our clients. We'll talk more about that as well. All right, let's keep on going. So next question I want you guys to think about with all of this is, I'm going to name a bunch of different foundational transformation skills. All of these are the foundational transformation skills we look at Sacred Depths. And Sacred Depths, actually, there's 3 units. The first unit is the foundational skills. The second 2 units are the more advanced skills. But I want to focus on the foundational skills right now. And for each one, you don't have to answer this for each of the 3 clients. You can almost just think about these 3 clients and answer as a whole for each. I want you to assess on a scale of 1 to 10, how well you're doing with each. Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10. And again, No judgment at all. This is just information, useful information for you. So the first skill that I want us to take a look at is deep listening skills. And I'm going to ask you some things. You can almost assess each of these sub-skills under deep listening skills for yourself. Okay, so under deep listening skills, one of the things you want to be looking for, and you can just see on a scale of 1 to 10, how well are you hearing the true meaning behind the words that your clients say? And hear it quickly too, so that it's not 45 minutes into the session where you finally get it, right? Or even 20 minutes into the session. So scale of 1 to 10, how well are you doing at hearing the true meaning, right? Between the words that your clients are saying, really getting it, the layers underneath the layers, and hearing it in timing that makes sense so that you can get things done in your session. Next piece under deep listening skills to think about, scale of 1 to 10. How well are you at reading verbal and nonverbal cues so that you can understand your client's mood, their energy, their motivations? How good are you at reading the verbal and nonverbal cues that let you know not just the facts that your clients, right? We want to know the facts for sure, but we want to also really be able to effectively pick up on the cues for mood, for energetics, for motivations, for blocks. Scale of 1 to 10, how's that going? Next question, under listening skills, a little similar to the last one, but it's got a little bit of a different flavor. You know, these are all things that we look at in Sacred Depths because it's so important. How well are you doing at hearing what's not being said, right? Because sometimes what's not being said is even more important than what is being said. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how well are you doing at hearing and detecting and listening for the important things that aren't being said, right? And then following up on those. Next question to think about with listening. How well are you doing, scale of 1 to 10, just be honest, at detecting when a client is lying to themselves? Right? We all do it, right? We do it as clients, right? And practitioners, we want to know, we want to be able to detect when a client is lying to themselves. Scale of 1 to 10, how's that going for you? Here's another thing with listening. I mean, this one is listening, but it's really just overall, but we'll put it under listening for now. Scale of 1 to 10, and I bet you a lot of people in this group are on the high end of this, I'm gonna guess. You guys are really good at this, but I'm gonna put it in there anyway. How well are you doing at supporting your clients to feel seen and heard and understood? How well are you doing at supporting your clients to feel seen and heard and understood? Next one. This is a biggie when it comes to listening. We spend a good amount of time on this in Sacred Depths. It's so important. Amelia, you want to rate my glasses? I love it. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, very important piece of listening. How well are you doing at checking your own filters, your own biases, and your own privilege? Because when we listen, if we haven't checked our ears, cleaned our ears from all of the biases and beliefs and filters that are just always rolling around in our head from our own experiences. Now, it doesn't mean we have to get rid of them, by the way, right? But we have to check those filters and those biases and those privileges in order to really hear what our clients are saying. Scale of 1 to 10. How's that going for you? How well are you doing that? 2 more things under listening. Listening to yourself. So I always like to think that the best listening skills are when we're doing a dance of fully and deeply listening to our clients, all the things we spoke about already today, while also listening to our own intuition, right? What we're hearing in our head, checking the filters, right? Not assuming that it's truth, but that dance between the two. But a lot of times practitioners don't trust themselves and their own intuition. They don't listen also to themselves, right? So scale of 1 to 10, where are you with that? And then last thing with listening skills, how well are you doing for hearing where in the cycle of growth your client is landing? I'm just gonna explain this one a little bit. There's a lot to say about it. But most practitioners just assume that when a client starts with them, they're raring to go and take action and do all the things. That they're in, if we think of it seasonally, that they're in spring or summertime, growth, right? But the truth is, a lot of clients sometimes come to us in winter. They're not ready for the action right away. There's other release work that needs to be done, shadow work that needs to be done, whatever it is. How well are you doing at listening so you know where in the cycle of growth your clients are? Not just when they come to you, but at any moment in time, right? Because the last thing we want to do is push a client to action when what they need is incubation, and vice versa. All right. Let's look at creating awareness skills now. So much to say by way of creating awareness skills. It's one of the most important skills you can have. Of course, you can't create awareness unless your listening skills are in tip-top shape, right? One really builds on the other. But anyway, let's take a look at some of the creating awareness skills that are vital. So scale of 1 to 10, how well are you doing at illuminating what your clients can't see? They're ready to see it, right? Sometimes we can't illuminate everything. I just want to be honest about that. Some things are meant to be in the mystery sometimes, right? But for the things that they're ready to see, how well are you doing at illuminating what they're ready to see? But they may be blocked in seeing it, right? For various reasons. Next question, scale of 1 to 10, how well are you doing at what I like to call reflecting hard truths? We do a lot of training, on all of these things in Sacred Depths. So this is one of them, we pay extra special attention to in training, right? Because so many practitioners are terrified that they're going to offend their clients or their clients will get angry at them if they reflect the hard truths. And there are very specific skills and techniques that we need in order to do it in a way that it lands deeply, effectively, and creates breakthroughs and ahas, right? So scale of 1 to 10, how well are you doing that? Again, no judgment, right? We're not judging ourselves. It's not about that. We're looking, right? So that we can get really good, valuable information for ourselves. Next question. A scale of 1 to 10, this is another creating awareness skill. How well are you doing at really supporting your clients to celebrate themselves and their wins? Now, I'm not talking about list 3 things that you've celebrated or rah, right? That stuff is good. That is celebration for sure. I don't want to knock that. But I'm talking about, really supporting clients to own their power, to own their brilliance, to own what's going well, to know that they are valuable. Scale of 1 to 10. Next question, scale of 1 to 10. This is another creating awareness skill, a really important one. How well are you doing at what I call honoring what is? Honoring what is. So what that is, and maybe you guys know what I'm talking about here. Those of you that have been learning with me for a while, you definitely know what I'm talking about here. Too many practitioners these days bypass the crappy things that their clients bring up. They tell them just to, think positively. It's not so bad, right? And some of that is valuable for sure, but we really when we do that, we bypass our clients. And actually what's needed instead are the skills and the techniques and also the ability to hold space and presence for honoring what is. That doesn't mean that we then stay mired, right, in the not so great things, but first we need to really know how to honor it. So scale of 1 to 10 for you. And then last thing under creating awareness skills for now, using personal anecdote in order to open up ideas, breakthroughs, and ahas for clients. Scale of 1 to 10, how good are you at using your own personal anecdotes or other anecdotes or stories, in the right moment to really create awareness for your client on something that they need or create a breakthrough? And I am reading the comments. As usual, I have so much to share, but I want you guys to know I'm going to go through and look at them more. But yeah, Marnie is saying that she was going so fast to get through the crappy for herself, right? We need to be in that discomfort sometimes, 100%. All right, let's look at questioning skills, or what I like to say, breakthrough questioning skills, because we want our questions to create breakthroughs and ahas and create awareness. Questioning is a main form, too, of creating awareness, right? So on a scale of 1 to 10, and I will say a lot of practitioners struggle also with questions. They fall more on consulting than asking questions. And all of us consult, by the way. I do consulting in my work. It's not that I don't. But what happens for a lot of practitioners is that instead of putting it back on the client for them to find an answer that's right for them, maybe because we think we have to rush through, or we feel like we have to look like the expert, or we don't trust the client to have the answer, we end up consulting more than we should. And so just even for a moment, take a look at that. Is that happening for you? If it is, it's okay. I bring it up because I've worked with so many practitioners, supporting them to become better at what they do, and I see this a lot, right? Okay, so breakthrough questioning skills, scale of 1 to 10. Just first, rate yourself just questioning in general. How are you doing with your questions for your clients? Scale of 1 to 10. Yeah, Amelia's saying that she feels like a lot of her clients expect her to consult. I'm so glad you're just kind of like seeing that, noticing that, right? And again, we do consult for sure, but we want to make sure that we're not stealing the client's opportunity for deeper self-learning because of this. Okay, scale of 1 to 10. How well are you doing at crafting questions that create cognitive breakthroughs? So I'm talking about mental level of learning and processing. How well are you doing at crafting questions that activate cognitive breakthroughs? Next question, scale of 1 to 10, how well are you doing at crafting questions that activate the heart level, the spirit level, and the body level, right? Those of you that have been around my teachings, you know that as transformational practitioners, we don't only want to activate the mental or cognitive level of learning and transformation. We want to activate the heart level, the emotions. We want to activate the spirit level, the trust. And we also want to activate the body level, the soma, right? Because so much is stored in our bodies. We looked at all of this in Sacred Depth, how to craft questions to activate all of those. But for right now, how well are you doing with that? 1 to 10. Next question, scale of 1 to 10. And again, no judgment. I just want to keep on reminding you guys, no judgment, no judgment. How well are you doing at asking effective questions when a client is stuck in fear or limiting beliefs or self-sabotage? How's that going? Scale of 1 to 10. All right, and we're gonna look at one more overarching foundational skill for today, and that's visioning and strategizing. Really important skills. We need visioning and strategizing skills in order to help clients move towards their goals, right? We need to be able to vision, and we need to, with them, help them create incredible visions, and we also need to be able to help them strategize well. And Amelia is saying she's good at those questions with fear because of the Befriend Your Fear workshop. Yes. And we do cover Befriend Your Fear in Sacred Depths too. It's such an important skill. It's one of the more advanced ones for sure. Okay, so visioning and strategizing, scale of 1 to 10. How well are you doing at supporting clients to create goals and visions that are actually aligned for them and that they're excited about? I hear way too many stories about practitioners that vision with clients, but the vision doesn't end up being aligned for that client, or the client isn't excited about it, or it's not right for them, you know? So scale of 1 to 10. And then next question is kind of similar. Scale of 1 to 10, how well are you at detecting when your client is creating or working towards a misaligned vision or goal? Detecting when your client is creating or working towards a misaligned vision or goal. Next question. This is an important one. And this is one, like the gurus out there, they don't get it. And it's a big disservice that they do. So check yourself for this one. Scale of 1 to 10. How well are you doing at creating a vision with your clients in a way where your clients are actually dropping into their vision as opposed to you pushing your vision for them onto them? Right? So are you guruing your clients in any way, whether it's with a vision or strategy or anything like that? Or are you really holding space for them to know what's right for them? Next question, scale of 1 to 10. How well are you doing at supporting clients to cultivate real commitment and follow through to the goals that you're visioning? How well are you doing at supporting clients to cultivate real commitment and follow through? Because you could have the best vision in the world, but if your client isn't then committed to it, isn't willing to do the work, right? You guys know this, doesn't matter. Couple more here, important stuff. How well are you doing at creating strategies that are aligned for your clients and in the right pacing and rhythm, right? So back to what Stephanie was saying before, different clients have different rhythms. And a big mistake that practitioners make is that they apply hell yeah coaching to everyone. Like, hell yeah, we can do this right now and quick and you should be able to and all the, but that's not true. Right? For everybody. It's just not. And also just, not just the pacing, but the actual strategies, right? For some clients, like I support clients in building their businesses. For some clients, video is like totally what's going to help, something that they're going to do. But for other people, it's not right for them, right? We can't apply cookie cutter. We have to really, and so much of this goes back to listening, right? When we can listen for who our clients really are, then we get that much better at co-creating strategies that work, that actually will help them be successful. 2 more questions with the visioning and strategizing. How well are you doing at supporting your clients to stretch? Stretch, right? Are your clients taking the easy way out, and are you letting them take the easy way out because it feels easy for you too? Not that we don't want ease, by the way. That's not what I'm talking about. I think you guys know this, right? But like, are they just staying in their comfortable little bubble, right? We don't want to push clients, and especially, Sacred Depths practitioners are trauma informed. We look at this a lot. Like, we understand that it's not, we don't want to push. That's not helpful, right? But we do want to lovingly support clients to stretch. Okay. There's so many other skills we could look at, but those are some of the foundational ones, for now. And so let's just go back to the 3 clients that you've been looking at. Now that we've looked at all the things we've looked at so far today, what is it that you specifically wish you could be doing better? What do you wish that you could be doing better? Again, no judgment here at all. This is just about looking and seeing and understanding. All right, so a couple other questions based on everything we've looked at together so far. What are some of the strength patterns that you're seeing in your ability to co-create results with clients and transformation, right? Let's go back to celebrating ourselves for a moment. What are some of the strength patterns that you're seeing? Own it. What are you doing really well? You want to leverage those more, lean into those more. Next question, what are some of the weaker, some of the places where it's your next edge, right? What are some of the places that it's your next edge, where you see there's some weak links, some weak gaps in your ability to co-create results with your clients? Rachel's saying calling people out lovingly on their fears and resistances when they're lying to themselves. The uncomfortable conversations. Rachel, is that one of the strength places for you? Amelia's strength, creating awareness, helping clients feel seen, loved, and understood for exactly who they are. Nice. And your next edge, visioning and strategizing. Yep. Okay. Next question, as you think about everything that came up so far, how have the positive client results impacted your business and your marketing and your ability to grow? And also, how have the not so positive client results maybe held you back, right? Maybe because of fraud factor, maybe because of fear that you're going to get like a real niggly client, maybe because of the energy that it takes, maybe because you are like, you want to make sure you can stand behind your marketing promises. So what are the ways that the positive client results have impacted your business? And what are the ways that the not so positive results have impacted, held you back? Take a moment with that. Can I ask the question another way? Yeah, so for the first question, for all of the great client results, how has that impacted your business? Has that given you more confidence to do more outreach. That kind of thing. Oh, you got it. Okay, good. I'll give you guys a moment with that. If you hear music in the background, it's because my daughter's home today. You're getting some of her too. All right, let me look at the time. I don't want to rush the worst client case study. I think what I'm going to do is come on later tonight and do a live on that one, because I want you, I don't want to rush through it for you guys, and this was so important what we got through already today. But I want to keep you for a few more minutes, just a couple. What is it that you're seeing overall so far today? What are some of your takeaways? And I'd love for you to post them. You know, whether you're listening live or later on the replay, what are your takeaways? Oh, and Marnie's honoring herself, that the positive client results have created more confidence, helped you stand in your visibility. Yay, yay, yay. So what are some of your takeaways? I'm going to wait a moment for you guys to type it in so that I can respond to some of them and get you excited for tomorrow, which is we're going to look at resistance archetypes. So excited for that. And also, I just want to invite you and say, you know, if you want to take today's work deeper and have a held container to look more deeply at the results that you're creating with your client, or what maybe could be happening differently, could be happening better, then I really want to invite you to schedule a complimentary call with Inbal or Caitlin on my team. It's free, it's complimentary, and it'll take a little while, 45 minutes or so to an hour, and they will guide you through an incredibly powerful process to go deeper with everything that you're seeing here. And also, if it makes sense, to take a look at sacred depths, you know, and see how that might help you. So I will pop that into the comments below, the link to schedule with them. If that's something that you'd like to do, we'd love for you to have that conversation. And I'm seeing some of the takeaways here. Let's see. Leah, you're feeling overwhelmed when you see how much you have to grow to be the coach that you want to be. I hear that. And also, I would encourage you to lean into some of the amazing things that are happening, that you know, the skills that you've got, because you've got skills, Leah. I know you do. So again, lean into those, and then see everything that you're seeing as helpful and valuable information. Know that you've got time for all of it. Amelia, visioning and strategy. Oh wait, I messed this up here. That's not takeaway. Marnie, you're excited about what you're acknowledging, yeah, and seeing how seeing how giving power to your ex-husband affected your business. I'm so glad you're seeing that. So important. These are great. All right, you guys, I'm sending you so much love. Let me know how I can help, what you need, what cues you have. I'm gonna come on for a shorty later tonight and give you guys worst case client study, so you have that. And tomorrow we're jumping in to the resistance archetypes. Have a great rest of your day.